Today's Wednesday, October 30th, and this is a chart review on a position I just took a few minutes ago involving the micro E-mini NASDAQ 100 futures, ticker symbol MNQ, and as of the time of this recording, the NASDAQ futures is quoted at 20,702 and a half. And considering that the futures market started trading last night at 6 p.m. Eastern, NASDAQ futures did hit an all-time high during the overnight session of 20,789 and 3/4. And since hitting this high, it's possible that there's a lot of profit taking starting to pick up. So price has faded back down to a local support resistance level I had marked up at 20,700. And prior to that, there was a sharp reversal heading into yesterday morning stock market open. So this was the 9 o'clock, 9:30 time frame. And then price just almost went vertical, breaking above this local support resistance level. And looking left, we can see this price point was valid as price was rejected and faded down. And there was another attempt to break back above it. It didn't make it all the way up there, but I would say this is a reasonable attempt. And then price faded back down. This purple trend line is another layer of support and resistance, which is sitting around 20,380. So if there is going to be a pullback, I would look for this purple trend line to possibly hold as support. But heading into yesterday morning's open and well into the overnight session, it appears the current market structure appears to be inside this ascending channel, where each of these yellow trend lines is also acting as another layer of support and resistance, as well as the dotted line running down the center of this channel. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. So as price was breaking below this yellow support level, I took a short position, speculating that price may spike through this 20,700. So a few minutes ago, I did take a short. I didn't short the actual futures. I shorted via futures options. And what I'll do is I'll switch over to the trade tab. So right here under the option chain section of this dashboard, there's a flag position pegged to option contracts that will expire tomorrow, October 31st. So there's only 1 day remaining before this contract expires worthless. Now, down here at the bottom left are the details. So regarding the October 31st expiration, I selected the 20,450 strike price. And as a buyer of option contracts and bearish, I'm on the put side. So essentially what the contract is saying is that on or before the close of tomorrow's session, I'm speculating that price will be at or below 20,450, which would put it approximately around that purple trend line. Now, considering the general trend is to the upside, I only picked up 2 contracts as now I am counter trading the market. I'm betting against the market at this point. And again, this contract will expire worthless at tomorrow's close at 5 p.m. My entry price is quoted at $47.75. Unfortunately, the trade is going against me as the premium is now quoted at $47.50. And the overall P&L is reflecting now a positive bounce of $1. So it's still early in the trade. It's going to continue going up $3, down $5. So I believe up until the stock market opens, I think volatility and volume will pick up. And we'll probably see either a bounce higher, continuing the uptrend, or a potential break to the downside for all that profit taking. And the last thing I want to clarify is the valuation on this trade. So right here in the description it says 1/2. So the multiplier is 2 for this specific product. So what I need to do is take my entry price of $47.75, multiply it by 2. That means one contract is actually valued at $95.50. I've picked up 2 contracts. At this point, I'm risking $191 over the next 24 hours for a potential pullback. So again, I want to participate on potential reversal from yesterday's move, as well as mitigating the risk. I don't want to get too carried away as the trend is to the upside. So I don't think I'll add a third contract, as tempted as I am. But I will pause it here, let the trade work itself out, and I will update when something more significant does occur. So, quick update. The stock market will be closing in less than 2 minutes from now, so I thought I'd get a head start on the NASDAQ futures short, which is currently quoted at 20,523. And this is the current candlestick right here. During today's trading, price did break to the downside after I entered the trade, right where this white line is pegged to. And after the first 10 minutes into today's trading session, there was a bit of a rally, but this support resistance level, 20,700, had rejected it, and price slowly faded to the downside to where it currently is. So using the high point of this candlestick here, I had overlaid this Gann fan. So it appears the dark blue trend lines are another layer of support and resistance. We can see here that at the onset of this drop, price was respecting this bottom blue trend line, and then price has then been guided to the downside via the upper blue. So the stock market bell will sound off in 15 seconds. So I will keep quiet for a bit until the market bell sounds off. So that's the market bell. The stock market is closed. However, the futures market will continue trading for another hour, and then we'll restart later tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern. So going back to this recap for day one. So here, this green line, it's just a visual markup as to where I need price to be prior to tomorrow's close. So 20,450 is represented by this green trend line. So hopefully we'll see a further continuation to the downside heading into the overnight session later this evening. So going back to today's trading session, when price was rejected up here, I took a short position. There's a major drop here. So I took a short position. I actually shorted the futures. And prior to this drop as well, I did short a third contract. So a lot of volatility right now. Major swings to the downside. This candlestick is as low as 20,471. And within the same candlestick, it had pushed as high as 20,559. So switching over to the trade tab. So down here at the bottom left, I did pick up a third contract before the drop. The option premium is now quoted at $67.50. Overall trade is up a little over $100. Again, there's a lot of swings because after the market, a few earnings are being announced. I believe Microsoft is one of them. So that could impact tomorrow's trading session. So if I click on the trade confirm here on my options trade, I picked up that third contract when the premium dropped to $38. And this was almost an hour after the stock market started trading. There was a quick dip. I shorted the bounce essentially right here. So as price was rallying to the upside, I shorted I picked up that third contract on this bounce, capitalizing on that. And at the same time, when price was around heading into the afternoon session, I shorted the actual futures, and I was able to grab $306 off of futures short. So essentially, this option trade is now a free trade from my perspective. So using the updated premium of $44.50, so $44.50 times 2. So each contract is $89 times 3. So the options trade came out to $267. I shorted and I was able to take a win of 306. So this is a risk-free trade at this point. So so far so good. It's just what is going on right now is all the earnings that's being reported. Again, Microsoft is one. I'm not sure who the others are, but that could impact this bearish position. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and pause it here, and I'll do a follow-up status check heading into the stock market open tomorrow. So more to follow. So another update. Today is Thursday, October 31st, and the stock market will start trading in a little over an hour and 10 minutes from now. As of the time of this recording, the NASDAQ futures is currently quoted at 20,389, and overall trading during the overnight session and heading into the stock market open, NASDAQ is already down 140 points. So where I last left off yesterday was around this time frame, and it was around this time frame when the market closed, and we see a lot of chop here because of earnings, and subsequent to that, price continued falling and has fallen below my strike price of 20,450, as well as falling below the purple support level, which I thought would hold. It did hold it for a brief period. We have a bounce here and then quickly continued to the downside. But now price is trying to break back above it, right? So we have a curling, possibly trying to break back above it heading into the stock market open. So what was once support could potentially be resistance. This move could get rejected, but I will keep a close eye on this, considering that these contracts will expire later this afternoon. So to pick things up, this chart on the right is the chart specific to my option contracts. So right here by the ticker, the premium is quoted at 120. And down here, the ticker is the actual details to the contract. It's involving the 20,450 strike price. And if I show trades, there should be a confirmation bubble showing I picked up those 3 contracts. So here are those 3 contracts that I picked up yesterday. The 2 contracts were at 47.75, and that third contract is at 38. So this is the option contract for my NASDAQ futures short. And if I open up Active Trader, if I was to close out this position, the trade is now up a little, about $375. Again, if I scroll down, my average entry is marked up right here, which is the 0 line on the profit and loss side of this ledger at 44.50. Considering that this is now a risk-free trade, anything I close after this is all pure profits in light of the future short that I did yesterday afternoon, covering the cost of this position. So again, just to recap, because I risked around $267, right now I'm looking for a 1 to 3 risk to reward, just keeping an eye on this candlestick here, trying to break through the purple trend line here. So with a risk of $267, while the initial risk of $267, I'm looking for a 1 to 3 risk to reward, and that would make it a $800 take profit. So I'd like to close this out if the premium reaches $178, and that would be an additional $800 take profit on top of the 300 and change that I received yesterday from that short. So if I go ahead and place an order here, it's going to be sitting here at 178. So here's my limit order. So hopefully we'll see a rejection and price continue to the downside. If price does break through, then I would still like to protect the gains as best as possible. So we have price starting to break above the purple trend line. But that's the order right here. And I'll go ahead and pause it again, and I'll pick it up when I guess the market opens or until something more significant does occur. So, quick update. The stock market has been trading for a little over 12 minutes now, and we see that price was rejected by the purple trend line. And as it was falling, as price was falling, price is now below this thin blue line. So it's possible this could potentially be another resistance level for price, as we can see that candlesticks are trying to break back above this thin blue line here. So if I was to close out this position, this would be over $834 potential profit right now. I'm going to see if I could get it at over $1,000, because right now my initial target was a 1 to 3 risk to reward. So if I was risking $267, my 1 to 3 risk to reward was at $800 level. So price is clearly above that. I don't want to get too greedy, and for the fact that these contracts, again, will expire worthless at the end of today or 5 p.m. Eastern, I want to protect the gains as best as possible. So I want to see for now if I can get it at maybe, let me see, if I close this out at, I don't know where to place my limit order. $950. Right here, $950. Premium of $203. $957. So there's my limit order for $957. Again, there's a lot of chop here. It's just going sideways, similar to what happened here, and then it pushed up. So my concern is it consolidates and then another break to the upside. So my limit order is sitting there. I'm filled. I'm out of the trade. It's $957 take profit plus the $300 from yesterday. So this was a good setup, and it's possible that price could continue trending lower. Look at that. It's just going to punch right through. Anyway, that is the end of this trade. I'll provide a breakdown at the end of this screen record. And until the next trade, I'll see you.